The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 8th day of January, 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. He's Larry Marshall Jr. And Teo Dill will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. Happy 2025 to you, good brother.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that festive holiday stuff, you know.
How was your holiday?
It was quietly busy.
Quietly busy. You have a busy young son. How was his holiday?
Oh, he loved it.
Oh, of course.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. He probably enjoyed the time off from school. And did you guys do anything, or was it more like a laid back holiday?
More a laid back holiday, but he was able to get around family and do a few things. And Mason went to a camp, stayed home for a bit, so it was just easy going.
Easy going. There you go, folks. We love to hear easy going there, good brother. Well, hey, man. You know what? I did something this morning. So, you know how like January, I think things have finally changed. I think a couple things I've noticed. People no longer make resolutions as like they used to. But also, remember January used to be like, oh, everyone rushing to the gym to lose weight?
Yeah.
Man, I entered the gym this morning. I had my video on empty. Not one person. I was like, just the way I like it. Don't have to wait for a machine. Could go on my favorite machines. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's what I'm talking about, folks.
It's interesting because I went to the gym yesterday and it was empty. And that's how I want it every time.
Right. And I mean, that's us being selfish. But I mean, you want your machines when you want them. But I think times have changed, right? And I think, like going back to what I said yesterday about like, when I tell people I don't look toward like a new year or, birthday as a time to make change. I think change just got to be constant as we evolve as people. I'm not saying that, oh, you shouldn't do that. But for me, I just, try to live better tomorrow or today and not wait for opportunities, not just try to lose weight for a cup match or the summertime to have a body, but just try to live healthy. So that was interesting to me that people our behaviors seem to have changed regarding that.
Yeah, hopefully better. Everybody on the opposite side where everybody's like, I'm just gonna stay inactive.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully it means that people are just gonna be more consistent. You're right. The other thing, real quickly, guess what I did last night for the first time ever in my life, audience? I made soup. Yeah, I made soup. Teo would be proud of me because Tay thinks he's a chef, right? But I made soup, bro. Let me tell you what I put in it. I don't know if they were yams or sweet potatoes, but they were orange. You peel them like potatoes. But anyway, then I had I chopped up some jalapeno, chopped up some onion, I chopped up some, I think they're called bell peppers, right?
Okay.
And put some celery in there. What else?
Okay. All right.
Carrots, and got some vegetable broth from Whole Foods. And I sent to a couple of people and family I was making soup. And they're like, what kind of soup? I'm like, I don't know. Is it supposed to have a name? And then they're like,
vegetable soup. Which is
I'm saying. I'm like, mixed vegetable. So they were like, you're not using a recipe? I'm like, the great ones never do. Right?
Yeah. So you went for your first time to the great ones.
Yeah. And, man, I'm not being biased. It came out delicious, man. It really did. Everything was soft, like the yams or sweet potatoes, I don't know what they were, and even the carrots. So all that to say, if I did it again, it probably won't taste the same
because you just winged it.
because I just winged it. Now my pops try to play me. He talking about, oh, well, let me see a picture. I'm like, you don't see the food, you taste the food. Oh, well, I took a picture of my food. Man, he tried to play me like
I'm gonna have Pops' food. Pops threw his done.
Yeah, he's all right. He think don't big his head up. Come on, don't big his head up.
That fish, because that seasoning on that fish. He so
He needs a little something.
I don't know. Y'all gotta send me some soup. I like a little vegetable mix. So
Yeah,
everything you said in there, I'm done with.
all right. We may have to have a little soup day. Sherry Vanderpush, she says, how you pronounce that? Tucson or Tucson? Tucson soup.
Right?
She said I made some Tucson.
Oh, Tuscan or Tucson?
Tuscan? What help us with that word? That's Italian or something. But Sherry made some soup. Let's just say that.
Okay.
They weren't better than mine. I'll say that much. Anyway, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Economist Craig Simmons on to discuss insurance special topics course, courtesy of Aber and Bermuda College. So looking forward to that conversation. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. And we've got David Michael Wilson. He says, a wonderful Wednesday to you as well. Karen Simmons says, happy Wednesday, TDH community, and a happy Wednesday to you. Suzanne Ingham says, awesome Wednesday, Jamel, Larry, and Teo, and an awesome Wednesday to you as well. And Sherry thinks her soup's better. Folks, Sherry and I are about to have a soup down. All right? We're going to have a soup down. Anyway.
We call you like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld.
What's that?
Yeah, Seinfeld.
Come on, help me out. Tell me, though. Don't leave me hanging.
This guy had Val Soup in New York, and he made people follow his. It's one of the most classic episodes on Seinfeld. Funny.
So I'll have to find it online. I'm sure they stream because
of course
I heard that's a funny show. So quickly, audience, we're going to be talking about the question of the morning. Real quickly is give it to you is what can be done to improve Bermuda tourism in 2025. We have the conversation today with Mr. Simmons about reinsurance, and we usually speak about the pillars in Bermuda, but tourism is a hot topic. And as you see numbers around the world, like the world has opened up, people are traveling. The amount of Bermudians that traveled to Ghana, just Ghana, in over the holiday break, right? Over Christmas break. Myself, my business partner, and families went to Kenya recently. People, we didn't travel to the continent of Africa when I was growing up. We didn't. According to the government, the Fairmont Southampton is going to be, they're working on reopening it. There's some things happening in the tourism space. So what do you believe can be done to improve Bermuda tourism in 2025? But also, this is a question we want a short answer from you with. How effective do you believe the Bermuda Tourism Authority is currently? Now, let me tell you why we're asking that. If you haven't seen the top story in the Royal Gazette today, it's titled BTA Board Given Ultimatum Over Workplace Complaints. And the story goes on to say the tourism minister has threatened to dismantle the board of the Bermuda Tourism Authority if it fails to comply with instructions regarding allegations of serious workplace issues, which are blamed for substantial staff departures. In an email dated December 20th and seen by the Royal Gazette, Owen Darrell set out 4 instructions to the 6 board members, including Chairman Wayne Keynes, a government MP, that came with a deadline for responses by Monday. It is understood that Mr. Darrell has allowed the board an extension until January 13th to give details, which include the hiring of an independent firm to investigate complaints of bullying, harassment, and unprofessional behavior by executive personnel at the BTA. Additionally, Mr. Darrell demanded financial reports in the independent body's employee payouts and spending. The email was also addressed to Joseph Best, the deputy chairman, along with fellow board members Jennifer Phillips, government MP Kim Swan, Ronald Simmons, and Shiona Torini. Mr. Darrell wrote, failure to comply with these instructions will result in, revocation of your board appointment. I want to say this. I'm going to stop there. This is serious. This is serious. And I'll tell you why it's serious. To anyone who's tuned in right now, this is the government having a tourism minister that's doing what every Bermudian has been crying out for. And that's holding people accountable. I'm not here to cheer on Owen Darrow. I'm not here to cheer on the PLP, right? Look, this is long overdue. That's like being happy in 2018 when the PLP government ended conscription. Ask the Marshall family how happy they were after almost 15 years of fighting to end it, multiple court cases, expenses, and the like. So we're not here to clap and pat people on the backs for finally holding this group accountable. Now, there are some who may say, well, the government's meddling and getting involved. No, they're not getting, what Minister Darrow is doing, he's not getting involved in the day-to-day. What he's done is told the board that you have had serious complaints of workplace bullying and issues, and you failed to, do anything about it. You failed to fix it. You failed to address it in a manner that's going to stop the exodus. And he's basically telling even the chairman, if you fail to fix this, there will be consequences. This is how a government is supposed to act with a quango. But this is also how a people, a community, are supposed to act with a government.
I don't disagree with anything that you said. However, because I don't trust the current government, I wonder what's going on in the background. And if we remove or dissolve the authority, what happens? And I think what happens is, do we go back to how it was before? And I'm not in favor of that, because I think then government gets directly involved, which is more access to funds. And this is what happens when you don't trust the people that's in control, right? But it's just a bad look overall when you have leaked emails, people that are accusing things being swept under the rug or overlooked. And, I as I said in the onset, I agree with you. It's good when you first read this article, you're saying that it finally looks like accountability. Mm-hmm. And I wish it would happen on more things than just Krangos, right? Or this particular Krango when it's no other thing. And I think it had to happen when you see a mass exodus of talent, right? Mm-hmm. Leave the BTA, then action had to happen. So, we'll see what comes of this, just because it's been said or talked about, it does not mean that action will happen also.
Indeed. And I think you said something just now that I want people to digest, Larry. Don't know what's going on in the background, but why now, right? And I think Michelle White says, yes, but how could it have gotten this bad? There must have been signs of bullying a long time ago. Teo said something before we came on air to answer this. And it's basically kind of what I said on I'm going to call it Twitter yesterday, right? We must ask ourselves, the concerning thing about the exodus of staff from the Bermuda Tourism Authority are those who've remained, but not only remained, but received promotions and increased salaries at the organization despite its shortcomings and lack of success in delivering results. That's what should concern people. That's how, Michelle, to answer your question, that's how it gets that bad, because the culprits remain there and they do it to the next person and then the next person and then the next person. And because the board doesn't hold anyone accountable for whatever reason, This is how you get here. And this is why accountability is so important. Now, Larry, I'm going to say something to you because I think you know the answer to your question, but I'm going to say it just in case others don't. What's going on in the background? Larry, there's an election year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's come on now, folks. It's an election year. They don't need this BTA distraction. The government's focus is on getting people to understand what they're doing right. CIT is going to be great and it's going to help you all. It's an election year. But I want to touch on this as well, Larry, if you don't mind. So in response to my tweet yesterday, the PR guy for the Bermuda Tourism Authority decided to respond and says, as someone who has worked hard every day at the BTA championing Bermuda worldwide, I find your claim of a lack of success in delivering results wholly unfounded and disappointing. The BTA has achieved numerous successes over the past 3 years, and I would be willing to share those with you. However, you're not genuinely interested in the truth and are focused on your grievances. That's quite unfortunate. Do better. So I responded, the PR guy to save the day, please share the success. Based on the organization's own numbers, your statement is a lie. But as a PR person, your job is to sell the most believable story, not the truth. What's unfounded is the BS you have the arrogance to share publicly.
And furthermore, why wouldn't he share? He wants to share stuff with you in private. If it's outlining the successes of Bermuda, the Bermudian people should be able to get this information, not just you in private. Like, I don't get that.
Exactly. And if you're gonna type that to me, share the numbers as well, right?
Share the numbers.
But here's what I want to define, and I shared this with Larry yesterday, but I'll share it with the audience now. What stood out to me about his comment is that very first statement, as someone who has worked hard every day at the BTA, not once have I said that anyone at the BTA or in tourism does not work hard. I've never made that claim that anyone doesn't work hard. A lot of people work hard, but don't deliver results. So no one's questioning your work ethic. No one's questioning that you work hard and you wake up and go to work every day. But the results, and you can say that, well, we've marketed and we've promoted. Yeah, great. That's fine. Bravo. But Charles H. Jeffers II said it long before he started working for Bermuda Tourism as their CEO. Said it many years before that. He said, you don't really have to tell people that you're doing great in tourism. The community will feel it, right? And that's what I say about politics. In election years, you're going to be told a lot about what has been done for you. My mother, my family, my parents have never, ever had to tell me what they've done for me. You know why? Because I feel it. That's sad, folks. What can be done to improve Bermuda tourism in 2025? Is getting rid of the Tourism Authority the thing? How effective do you believe the Bermuda Tourism Authority is? Is it effective? Is it something that needs to go? Let's go to the audience, Larry. Sean Smith says the BTA should finally go 100% private and the government should outline its exit plan within the next 5 years. You know, it's interesting you say that because I said this yesterday. I'm going to continue saying this. This is not a PLP problem or issue. The BTA is not a failed organization or unsuccessful organization or however you want to describe it because of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. So everyone that continues to say, oh, they should have never let Glenn Jones or Kevin Dallas go or this and that, the OBA government with the late Sean Crockett as minister got it wrong from the beginning by naming David Dodwell as the chairman. We've got to be honest about that.
Yep.
David Dodwell was a former tourism minister that the Bermudian people did not want anymore. They voted that man out. That's where it started. We also have to keep in mind that the Bermuda Tourism Authority was supposed to be independent and 100% independent of government within 3 to 5 years. That did not happen. Again, failed.
But it would never happen because of the initial onset with the David Dodwell.
Correct. So every time I read the comments and it's like the PLP and political interference, no. The politics, it was from the start. So this did not start with the current administration, current board, or current C-suite executives. The BTA has been the BTA. As I stated yesterday, the only difference is that the BTA previously was much better at good PR. I mean, you had one of the best people ever known in Glenn Jones in this space. Of course you're going to be good at it. What else we got there?
I'm sorry. Sean D. Shields says consistent, deplorable annual air arrival numbers don't lie. Coupled with an exodus of key employees speaks volumes. And I think I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. He's absolutely correct. The annual arrival numbers don't lie. The exodus of key employees doesn't lie. Let's go to a couple more, and then we'll bring Teo in for the news break. Sean DeShield says, would be rather interesting to see the exit interview feedback from those who have jumped ship. Indeed.
Never sure that.
But here's the other thing that if I remember correctly, Wayne Kane said yesterday in the article that they're doing an independent survey of employees, workplace, whatever. If someone can confirm this, right? If the employees know that a bonus is dependent on the workplace, are they really going to speak badly about it? You feel me?
Yeah.
Here's the question I want the media to ask Wayne Keynes, or we can ask now and he can answer. Why do you so badly want to remain the chairman of the Bermuda Tourism Authority?
Maybe he thinks he's good at it. I don't know.
I'd like him to say that. And then if he thinks he's good at it, since he's been chairman, we can revisit the performance of the organization. Let's bring Teo Dillon for the Daily Hour News Break. Don't forget, we've got Craig Simmons coming up. We're talking about the program up at Bermuda College, Reinsurers, a good program for Bermudians to get some great experience in the industry.
Hey, morning, Larry. Good to see both of y'all. Happy New Year and all them lovely things. Before I get into the news, I just want to say shout out to Jay for making soup. I don't know if he knows, in many Michelin star kitchens, like best restaurants on the planet, one of the first thing the head chef asks new potential hires to do is make soup.
Oh, yeah.
It's a simple dish, but it's very, very difficult to get right.
I'm on my way.
No, well, I didn't go that far. I'm just saying you start in a good place. It did sound a little thin to me. You know what I mean? Like you didn't.
You wanted meat. That's what you
wanted. No. I wanted body, thickness.
No,
it weren't thick, was it?
No.
Yeah, I knew it.
They weren't.
I knew it.
It weren't.
She a watery soup, Bob. I don't want that to say it, but
see, I'm fasting, so it had to be thin. I'm fasting. So.
Okay, that's a good justification.
Absolutely.
Next time, density, please, density in that soup. Give me something.
Hey, real quickly before you jump news break though, how was your holiday? How were the babies, man? How's the family?
Oh, well, Larry put it perfectly. It was quietly busy. You know what I mean? It's like when you got kids, it's holiday season. It's a whole bunch of things you got to do. But it is one of the most satisfying times of the year. Yeah. But the one thing that was confirmed is that even though Emery is a spectacular, marvelous, beautiful child, she still does the thing that all other parents complain about their babies doing. You get her a gift, and she wants to play with the box and the wrapping paper. You know what I mean? Honestly, I could have just brought like the bag of stuff that we shred at the school and put a bow on that, and she'd have been super satisfied.
I love it. Go ahead, Andrew. And she'll stop playing with the toys soon.
No, I mean we'll talk about that later. Anyway, to start with, a 2-vehicle collision ended with a pair of people running away from the scene on foot. The BPS explained that the incident went down just after 9 p.m. Sunday night on Blue Hole Hill. Looks like the two involved cars were driven in opposite directions along the road when the impact took place. There was a woman driving the first car with 2 passengers, and the second was being driven by a man and another passenger. Those are the 2 people who fled the scene on foot. Now, one of the men in the first car suffered a head injury, which led him to being taken to hospital for treatment, while the driver of the second car turned himself in at Southside Police Station. Well done to him. If you saw this incident, reach out to Constable Justice McDermott via 211 or jmcdermott@8bps.bm. Does that surprise you that people are like still running away from collisions in 2025? Like, for real?
No, Larry?
That don't surprise me.
It don't me.
Yeah, people get paranoid. They first thing they may run, jump. They don't want to get in trouble. It comes down, they'll do it, they catch themselves, and then they turn themselves in, or eventually they get caught.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, has anybody?
But it doesn't surprise me, I guess.
I guess like the adrenaline is high. You might be, feeling kind of nice, little buzz going, like your rationality disappears. But
actually, that's the case.
Wow, you can sort of get from point A to point B, but the thing that I don't know if anybody has ever successfully made a quick departure from a road collision like this in the history of our country. Like, it never works. Like, you're gonna get caught. Don't do it. And then you made it worse.
Well, I think Larry's justification makes sense. The only thing that makes sense, because if maybe they're under the influence, no, it doesn't make sense, because I was going to say if they're under the influence and they rush off and then they turn themselves in when they're sober, where they can't be charged with it, but then you're charged with leaving the scene of an accident, which probably leads to the same kind of trouble.
Yeah. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess people are just still dopey. I guess what it comes down to. Well, the Bermuda Monetary Authority recently made global news for being the first British overseas territory to issue a sanctions-related fine in about a decade. Meritus Trust Company got fined $600,000 by the BMA for breaching anti-money laundering and sanctions compliance requirements. A regulatory inspection conducted a couple of years ago identified several big breaches, including weak risk assessments for product, services, and customers, insufficient documentation of policies and due diligence, and an over-reliance on manual processes for politically exposed persons. Now, the most recent example of a UKOT issuing this kind of fine happened in Guernsey in 2015. Does that surprise either of you?
No, it doesn't. But well done to the BMA.
Yeah.
That helps keep our regulatory authority credible.
That is the best. It's perfect choice of words. Like if you're seen, it's not just about doing the right thing, it's about being seen to be doing the right thing in this kind of space. Now, speaking of money laundering, being conducted by financial institutions. You remember how HSBC got hit with like a $2 billion fine for helping Mexican cartels clean up about $700 billion worth of drug proceeds in like a decade ago? I don't know if y'all remember that. TD Bank, the biggest bank in the United States of America, recently got a more than $3 billion sanction for similar activity, but experts believe it's not likely to get them to clean up their act because, they make much more than they do, than they are fined.
Today shares the bank failed to maintain an adequate anti-money laundering program beginning in January of 2014 through October last year, making way for $670 million in illicit funds to transfer through TD Bank accounts.
This was coming from drug trafficking. Most of this money that was being laundered was in the fentanyl trade, set up under Chinese corporations. And the bank literally failed to perform any customer due diligence.
The DOJ prosecuted 24 people, including 2 bank employees, for their involvement in the money laundering operation. The feds say the scheme was so brazen, one man deposited $1 million in cash in a single day, then moved the funds using bank checks and wire transfers, even bribing TD Bank employees with more than $57,000 in gift cards.
Now, the thing that is striking to me about that is, I'm sure both of you, because you're grown people with grown man responsibilities, and so many of the folks that are joining us this morning, we are frustrated with how difficult it can be, how much time it can take, how much paperwork is involved in setting up a bank account, doing business here in Bermuda. That's why. So stuff like this doesn't happen. Because can you imagine even that crossing your mind to bribe somebody at Butterfield or Capital G or whatever with like gift cards?
Teo, you literally just explained my frustration, and I I hate those people because of this. Because because it's much harder for me because I hold American citizenship now as well. Like I got treated like, I'm one of those like fraudsters, and it's so hard. I have to like submit extra documents just to like show I'm Bermudian.
But this is why, so we don't get jammed up with problems like this. Now, in other big money news, one of the Caribbean's leading financial institutions is leaving the local market due to the lingering impacts of the pandemic. A regional financial group, Proven, will be leaving Bermuda and the BVI by the end of next month under the stewardship of their new president and CEO, Stacey Belnavis. The company told the Jamaican Stock Exchange they're leaving their local financial advisory business behind since they never fully recovered after COVID. At the same time, they're planning to consolidate their Cayman-based wealth management business into a brand new bank down there, Proven Bank outpost. Now, here's a short summary of the kind of work that they have been doing in Bermuda, but will no longer be doing as of the end of February. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Well, basically, when it comes to wealth management, they just help people to learn how to invest and grow their money in a really individualized, personalized way. They seem like a super dope company. I never heard of them before, but they've been here for a bunch of years.
Yeah, I actually was a customer with Proven and decided to move one last year. And I heard some things in the makings that, it wasn't. And I'm just kind of glad I did it before this kind of thing went public.
Okay. Well, like, were you satisfied with the service you got?
But I guess I trusted, when you start hearing these stories, you kind of want to go. But I guess my investment wasn't tied directly to that company. There was like the middle person.
Okay.
So I knew about the company.
Okay. Well, it's always a shame when, these kind of organizations leave the market because for all the obvious reasons. Now, we just learned about a first of its kind event in Bermuda, like ever in the history of fishing and boats, catch of an especially elusive fish off of our southern coast. It's called the round scale spearfish, and it was hauled onto a research vessel by scientists. They were doing a routine survey of young eels in the waters in that area. Now, during one trawl, they hauled in a small silvery marlin. At another site, they caught what looked like a marlin egg. Now, researchers tested the DNA of both samples and realized they'd caught the round scale spearfish. Taken together, the egg and juvenile fish contribute new insights into reproductive biology, early life stages, and ecology of round scale spearfish. So this is a really big deal. Like genuinely, Bermuda's at the center of a first of its kind story in the marine biology space.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's worth a Google. It's pretty interesting to learn more about it. Now, as far as the weather is concerned, I can see everybody on screens wearing long sleeves in the house. Well, I guess this don't apply to Jake, but like we know hoodie season is here for real. The rest of this week is going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold. The temp floor until Friday won't get out of the 50s, with tomorrow in particular set to feel like it's going to be in the mid 40s for real. All of this rain and wind is due to a couple of slices of low pressure moving through our airspace. So please dress appropriately for the next few days. You're going to be cold while you're at work. In fact, at your office, I bet for the first time in your time working there, they're going to turn off the air conditioning. Like it'll be the first day in the history of your office tomorrow. No AC in the building.
If they don't, take a blanket.
Real quickly, I mean, since you mentioned doesn't apply to me, I think we're expecting snow in Atlanta on Friday, and if anyone remembers, Snowmageddon in Atlanta about 10 years ago.
Oh man,
on highways and stuff. I gotta change my doctor's appointment from Friday because I'm not gonna be that guy. But anyway,
well done, bro.
Inside, I got my suit to hold me over. Larry, Taylor's gotta go. But what's the days of the year?
We have a few. We have Earth Rotation, War on Poverty Day, but today National Take the Stairs Day in the U.S. And I think, with the start of the new year, I'd like to encourage everyone in our audience and us gentlemen that, take the stairs. Don't just push the buttons or wait. Even if you got your bags, that just helps with your, even out the weight distribution and take the stairs. So National Stairs Day today, folks.
Audience, elevators or stairs? What do you normally take? Truthfully, anyone who knows me knows the only place I don't take stairs is in New York City, right? That's because you're not allowed in some buildings. But me, I legit I take the stairs literally almost every day, even no matter where I am. That's just something I do, and it's something about my not a fear of elevators, but I just have thoughts of getting stuck in one and claustrophobic. You guys take stairs or elevators?
I take stairs.
I take stairs, but I don't do it properly. Like I use stairs as a break. So I'll walk very slowly up the stairs. Like it doesn't my heart rate.
Well, you can't stairs like properly like most people because your legs are so short.
Oh, Jay. Oh. Okay. All right. I see how it's gonna be this year. All right. This the energy in 2025. All right. I got it. Cool. Go ahead. Eat your watery soup.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Before Jay goes, I just want to give a shout out. We never know who's tuned into this show. We don't, unless they're on Instagram. I want to give a shout out to Hurricanes. Yes, that is the chairman of the BTA, Wayne Cairns. I see you. We see you, bruh. And if you missed what I said earlier, we're encouraging you to resign from your position as chairman of the Bermuda Tourism Authority for the best interest of Bermuda and our tourism industry. Tay, you'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Take care, y'all. Good to see you.
Cool. All righty. We're going to take a quick break. Looks like a lot of people take stairs. We got Karen Simmons, Traveling Trotty, Sean Smith, Media Maya, Suzanne Ingham, Michelle White, Nicole Hassel stairs for 8 years, hate elevators. And Nicola Shields says elevator. I've been trapped in one twice. Okay. Nah, man. Stairs every day of the week. We're going to take a quick break, folks. Come back in about 2 minutes, 58 seconds with Craig Simmons. Get excited. One of our favorite guests, one of your favorite guests. See you soon.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Live exceptionally with HSBC MasterCard Pay with Rewards. Transform your points into what you love and get closer to winning an unforgettable trip to Dubai or one of 3 luxury experiences in Bermuda. To start following these steps, download the Pay and Rewards app from the App Store or Google Play. Register your HSBC MasterCard credit card in the app. Set your preferences to use points automatically or for your next purchase. Use your HSBC MasterCard for every purchase and redeem your points into rewards. In addition, for every $300 spent with your HSBC MasterCard, earn a chance to win an incredible monthly experience. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Larry Marshall Jr., myself, Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Hey, get excited, folks. Bringing on one of your favorite people, one of the most requested people. When we ask you, who'd you like to see on the show? Give a warm TDH welcome to Craig Simmons. Look at that. Mr. Simmons, first off, before you even say good morning or we welcome you, you start trouble when you show that mug. Let me tell you why. Because some of my colleagues and co-hosts still don't have a mug. Maya just told me yesterday, she put it in, slipped it in a combo. I said, I thought you got one during the holiday break. Larry just got his during the holidays. So
I'm all right.
He's good. But how are you? Like, you've been retired. Like, we try not to bother you, but I do have people reaching out to you often. How are you?
I'm in day 373.
Who's counting? Who's counting?
I should have done this 30 years ago.
Wow. And you know what? I'm happy. And I think a lot of people are happy that you are getting to experience that. So many people work so hard, give so much of their life to their careers and never get to enjoy a life how they want. So we're happy and excited, but also that you're still making time to do things like this. I'm not joking or lying when I say, when we do our survey with our audience, you are legit the most requested person people want to hear from you. And I think that says a lot about what people feel about you. They trust you. They believe in you. They value what you have to say. And so coming on for today's conversation to speak about reinsurance and the program courtesy of Aber and Bermuda College, I'm happy because I believe this is the 5th year that you're doing it. Just remind the audience, Mr. Simmons, of the partnership between Aber and Bermuda College.
It's a three-way partnership. There's ABIR, the Association of Bermuda Insurers and Reinsurers. There's Bermuda College. And the third piece is St. John's University in New York City, the Greenberg School of Risk Management. In fact, we have a professor, Mark Brown, coming down in April. He'll be leading a class. And then there's the folks from their, what do you want to call it? They help people get jobs. They help people with their resumes. The head of the department is Vicki Wells. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it, but we do have that close affiliation with St. John's. And this time around, we're adding 2 new partners. Lloyd's of London, they will be running a session, as well as the institutes. The institutes, they do the CPCU, the ARE. I think many of your listeners will be familiar with the professional qualifications that they offer, and they will be leading a session on February the 10th. So it's really, really exciting.
Love to hear it. And audience, if you have any questions about this program for Mr. Simmons, please send them through. Go ahead, Larry, sorry.
So, Mr. Simmons, this is the 5th year of the program. Remind people why a course like this is necessary.
Well, our number one industry in Bermuda, we know it's international business, but we need to sort of peel away at that. Within international business, there's insurance, there's reinsurance, there's long-term insurance. And, these are the drivers of our economy. They pay well. The median salary in international business more broadly is in the region of $160,000 a year. And my sense is that when you go into places like reinsurance or the ILS market, insurance-linked securities market, those medians go even further. So if you want a well-compensated professional life, that's the place to go. But it's not the place to go for the money. You need to be passionate about the field. It's like, I suppose, a soccer player. A good soccer player is going to have to love the game. Can't be doing it just for the money, for the prestige. And this course will expose listeners free of charge to CEOs, leading executives in all the major companies we have on island.
Cool. With that being said, what are some current trends, challenges, and opportunities within the insurance or the reinsurance industry that participants will learn about?
Well, the folks in the life industry have been, letting us know that the reason why the sector is growing is because that particular sector is growing, and that might have something to do with, the aging population. People like me need are looking for annuities, things that can give us a steady stream of income as we grow old. And so that particular sector has grown by leaps and bounds of late. And as it grows, it needs people, it needs underwriters, it needs brokers, it needs actuaries. Several of my students, they're working in that particular sector and doing extremely well. That's not to say that the catastrophe area isn't doing well. I mean, that's awfully exciting. We've seen major legislative changes in Florida that mean it's easier to do business in Florida. Insurance invariably involves challenges when people try and do things that they're not supposed to be doing. But it's really an exciting area. I don't think that any 2 days in the industry will be the same, because the risks are always changing. And this sort of ABIR, St. John's, Bilter course is giving folks basically a pipeline into the industry. So this summer, I believe ABIR had over 100 internships. So there's been two consecutive years where they've gone over this entry. In fact, I was in a meeting, and it was just before the summer kicked off, and I think we were at like 95, and to see the CEO getting upset, it's like, we need to go over 100. So they're adamant that we need these internships. There was once upon a time internships were for special people, the folks who had an inside edge, but we're not saying that any longer. My students, they are all getting looks. They're getting employment. Several of them did summer internships, and these companies asked them to come back over the Christmas break.
Nice.
That speaks to the quality of the people. And I'm going to give a big shout out to my Bermuda College students. It speaks to the quality of the students that we have at Bermuda College, where they go in for internships and they're saying, look, we will bring you back. We'll even help you with scholarships.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. We want these programs to happen in Bermuda, but again, we want to see our people benefiting. And you have, the second year in a row, 100 plus people, and these are Bermudians, right? I assume, or most.
Oh yeah.
And we are, if they are benefiting, the country benefits, the economy benefits, and it's a trickle down effect. So I'm glad to hear that that's working out well.
Well, I think the businesses that are here realize that it's a heck of a lot cheaper to hire a Bermudian. You bring someone in from foreign, and they bring their family gets here, they don't like the idea that you can't go down to Broadway and see, I don't know, Suffs or something. It takes a while to get used to Bermuda. The schools, they maybe the spouse doesn't like the fact that there aren't any, schools in Bermuda are subpar. There's all sorts of moving parts. If you got a Bermudian, they know the deal. Yeah, it's just, it makes business sense to open that talent pipeline. And maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but I see it. I mean, I see it in my students, like some of the comments they made. Okay, here's one student. I'm going to call her name, Sakia Smith. This young lady, oh God, she's so talented. She's a musician and a sort of a data nerd. She says, the insights I gained provided invaluable in interviews and allowed me to engage confidently in industry discussions. Helped her with you go in for an interview for a scholarship and you can talk eloquently about the industry. You're going to impress the heck out of folks.
Nice.
But that came out of an internship or out of internships. We're also kicking off this semester. Students are going to be doing lunch and learns. So the students have to lead the way. They choose a topic. The people that we have in the industry help pull the lunch and learn together. The students get on the bikes, get on the bus, go into town, spend an hour and a half sitting around with industry executives, getting feedback, getting insight on topics that interest them. And in so doing, they spark the interest of insurance executives. So our Bermuda College students have the inside edge when it comes to reinsurance. In fact, their colleagues at Georgia State, their colleagues at St. John's, their colleagues at Temple are jealous because our Bermuda College students are doing this on a weekly basis. Lunch and learns at Renry or at AXA. We're really rocking and rolling. I think we're heading in the right direction, and we just got to keep pushing.
Cool. Who are some of the industry professionals that will be leading the course this year?
Okay, well, let's talk about course. I have a bias for the first course because maybe it's because I'm going to be participating directly. We're looking at the socioeconomic impact of international business in Bermuda. In other words, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Former student, the Honorable Jason Hayward, will be participating, so I can't wait to put those difficult questions to him. In the second class, Angela Azare, she's from Renry. She'll be looking at climate change, sustainability, and partnerships. In our third class, that's when we have a new spin. It's going to be folks from Lloyd's, Mark Lipperman. He's heading the American side of Lloyd's. We'll learn what is Lloyd's. It's of course had to morph through time. How does it raise capital? What are the kinds of risks that Lloyd's underwrites, as well as looking at the history. So I'll be sitting down with John Huff, who's the CEO of ABIR, and we'll be talking about basically how the insurance and reinsurance and captive industries have developed in Bermuda. Week 4, we've got another great session on collateralized reinsurance. I doubt that I can explain what collateralized insurance is in a nutshell, but it's not like a normal, not like BF&M or the typical reinsurance companies. But we've got some young people. Natasha Osborne, she works at Hiscox. She is so sharp, along with Tejan Tolbert from the BMA, and they'll be talking about this sort of called it a new technology in reinsurance. And the following week, we have the institutes coming in, talking about artificial intelligence and how it's used in the reinsurance industry. And in week 7, we have a networking session. That'll be a chance for people to meet with industry professionals. Last year, that was a tremendous success. We had mentors there with students, great cocktail party. And for me, it means that I get to walk around and meet the students because the course is run remotely. And so to get the chance to actually eyeball students is absolutely fantastic. After the break is March the 3rd, because the course is running on Monday evenings. The following week, March 10th, we're doing cyber risk. A former student, Lloyd Holder, will be on with George Allion from the BMA. Cyber risk. I don't need to tell you the risks associated with computers and stuff. That is another high growth area. And so Lloyd and George will be giving us insights in the following week. That's when we get into the life health sector with Chantal Cardenas from Hanover Re. She's the CEO there. But it just goes on and on and on. We've got nothing but C-suite people leading each week's discussion. And of course, the topics, because the industry is going through continuous change and growth, each year you're getting a different spin on what's happening in each of those sectors.
This is brilliant.
So it's going to be off the chain. Now, signing up, college.bm. You go there. Please go to college.bm. When you get there, it's not on the front page. You've got on the right-hand side, there's I don't know what color box it is. I I only know sort of red, blue, and green, but it's on the right-hand side. It says check dates.
Yeah.
And you hit on the hyperlink BC News and Events or Campus Activities, and that will take you to the sign-up page.
Well,
And
real quickly, no, I want to just because I want to revisit that before you go where to sign up. But you gave an absolutely phenomenal list of people, some that both Larry and I know, and people who, like yourself, are trusted in this space. I guess the question I want to ask is just remind people who this course is for, because there are people who have never worked in this space, right? And, you know, I know people who have worked, maybe they've been educators, right? And they're like, they want to make that change. Like, who should take this course?
Okay. So I like to say it's for John and Janet Q. Public. Yeah. First up, it's free, so it's accessible to all. Yeah. If you're an industry professional at the other extreme, if you are a CEO of, say, a cyber risk company, what you know is cyber risk. And let me say this: no one knows all of the topics that we're covering in the course. No individual person on Earth has the brain capacity to understand what's happening in the various lines of reinsurance. So a CEO of a cyber risk company would benefit from listening to the life, health, and annuities class, or the collateralized reinsurance class. So folks from the C-suites of these companies regularly listen in to the course. So it's a wide spread of people that should listen in. High school students who are thinking about getting into the industry would benefit from listening into the course. Politicians need to know, because it's not clear to me that the leadership understands this particular segment. They know that it lays golden eggs, but what is the nature of those eggs and how are they laid? So it's a course for everyone.
Indeed. Thank you for that. We've got some questions from the audience. Audience, feel free to ask as many questions as possible. We've got Traveling Trotty says, is this course transferable to overseas institutions?
So there are two versions of the course. There's the version for which you're signed up for credit. That version is not free. You're going to have to pay for that. I think it's about $500. It's 3 credit course at Bermuda College. So if you do that particular version of it, you have to submit weekly reflections. You got to write a final exam. You get a final grade that turns up on your transcript. Yeah. That version of the course, yeah, can transfer. And of course, it's all dependent upon the institution to which you're applying. But it's a recognized course. If you're doing it, you know, for fun, no. And we're not giving out certificates of attendance and all that kind of stuff because we have no way of monitoring it. The last time we did it, we had something like 700 people on the course. Keeping track of 700 people, and how do I know that you're paying attention?
Right.
Yeah. So it's now, that's why doing it for credit, I get your weekly assignments, I grade them, give them back to you. You write a final exam, I grade it. There's accountability there. But in terms of just doing it for fun, just enjoy the ride and know that you are being exposed to information that most people on planet Earth are not entitled to.
Yeah.
Bermudians, you know, I've heard a story about you say to someone, well, I'm an actuary. For the most part, the parents and the family of the actuaries that are in Bermuda, when they explain to their families what they do, they don't have a darn clue.
Yeah.
In Bermuda, you say I'm a broker or I'm an actuary. People say, oh wow, yeah, interesting. This is a really weird space where Bermudians, the rank and file Bermudian, understands the basis of insurance.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
That's our bread and butter. Of course, we're going to understand it in ways that most people on planet Earth don't.
Yeah. We've got Renee Simmons. She's asking, as you know, our competitors are Guernsey and Cayman. Do you feel this program will enhance the possibilities for overseas students, or is it only open to Bermudians at the moment?
Well, the course is open to anyone. It's, you know, Many of the people who are on the course are not on island, which is why we record it. So we'll record it, we'll put it up on YouTube within a day or two. And those people who are in different jurisdictions, we've had people from Singapore, I've got people in BC, British Columbia on the course. So yeah, it's open to all. You want to do it for credit, you got to sign up Bermuda College. And that, again, is open to everyone.
I think I like what you said earlier. So many people kind of that are not in the IB space, when they find out how comfortable some people in that space are living, are like, I want to get into that space. But also, it makes sense because it's, a way to go for Bermudians. You mentioned passion and really want to be it. But I think can you just really give an idea, because you went through a lot of things, cyber risk and so on, that there's so many different opportunities within that space. Can you just, before you head out, just give people a reminder of the various courses and the different aspects of the IB space in Bermuda, but also where they can go to register and be a part of this program, and if there's a cost as well.
Okay, so in terms of the registration, maybe I can do this backwards, and because my memory is not the best. In terms of signing up, college.bm. Once you get there, on the right-hand side, you will see a box that says, let's just check that out, check dates. And there are two hyperlinks, BC News and Events or Campus Activities. Click onto that, and that'll take you to the registration page. You just simply need to give your email, and away you go. Sign up for as many classes as you want. Now, this is a 14-week course, but there aren't 14-week classes. One of the classes is a networking event. The place of that event will be announced. It's likely to be at AXA, because that's where ABER is located. But yeah, sign up for as many as you want. Sorry, Jamal, help me out.
Yeah.
Another question.
Yes, the other one was just the various spaces you can go in the IB spectrum, like whether it's IT, marketing, actuarial science, just remind people the opportunities within the sector.
So the actuarial space, I mean, that's you need a lot of high quality math. So at Bermuda College, we offer a degree, an associate degree in actuarial science. And so that involves a lot of calculus, linear algebra. Yeah, if you're not a math nerd, stay away from the actuarial. Another area would be underwriting. That's less quantitative, more about understanding the risk and explaining it to clients, although maybe brokers do more of that. The broker puts together someone that wants to buy insurance versus someone that wants to sell it. That's more sort of, what do you want to call it? Soft skills. You need to dress well, bathe regularly, because you're interfacing with clients. And of course, there's the IT part, because it's an extremely complicated place, keeping track of data, keeping it secure. Yeah, there are a variety of skills. And then, these folks like to party, they like to hang out. And there are folks that they hire just to do that. So conferences that are coming up. There's one in March. Our students are going to get a chance to attend that Risk Summit. I believe it's the week after the mid-semester break. So that must be the week of March the 10th, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Organizing that. There are Bermudians that are benefiting from the organization of the Risk Summit that's coming up in March. Similarly, in October, there's an insurance-linked securities conference. Bermudians are involved in that. And you get this interface between the reinsurance sector and the hospitality sector, because these events are held regularly at the Hamilton Princess or at other venues. So it's a major driver of our economy, and it's not just that broker, underwriter, actuarial thing. There are many other parts that make this very complicated area of work. Because let's face it, the world is not getting any safer. And that's where insurance comes to play a part.
Yeah.
It's about sort of when things go sour, how do you help people to be whole again? Gerald Gakundi, he's from the BMA, he's the director of insurance. He gives a heartwarming story of how insurance changed his life. Born in Kenya, father passed away when he was young, and mother with a bunch of kids, and it's like, how the heck are you going to survive? His father had the foresight to buy life insurance, saved his life. Gerald Gakundi is now the director of insurance at the Bermuda Monetary Authority. Without insurance, there would be no Gerald Gakundi. So it's about, young people want to do things that are meaningful. So the idea that I can make a lot of money working for, what is the company called, Smith and Wesson? I don't think young people want to do that, no matter how much money they can make. But in this particular area, you're actually doing something good. I mean, things like crop insurance. A farmer in Senegal wants to plant yams, but doesn't want to deal with the risk of planting and there being no rain. Can buy crop insurance. You're talking about helping people, real people. And so I think that's what's drawing lots of young people, because you're doing good. Now, contrary to popular opinion, these companies and CIT, corporate income tax, they're not all making a lot of money. It's risky business, underwriting risk, because it doesn't always go your way.
Yeah.
And so it's a tough business to be in, and you need the best brains that you can find. And this course is about identifying the best brains that we can find. And we're finding them. At Bermuda College, we have a dual enrollment program, and I'm going to tell you, the Barclay Institute and Cedar Bridge Academy are sending us some kids.
Say it, because public school gets lashed all the time, and people don't understand that great students come out of public education every single year. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got some that I can't call names. I mean, I did call one, the young lady Smith, but she's off at Exeter studying finance. But these guys, I mean, they just blow me away. I'm thinking, God, I'm so glad that I'm old, because there's no way that I would have been able to compete against the brain power of these young people. And some of them, I mean, they're so young that the international companies, reinsurance companies, when they get to know them and find out their age, they say, "Oh, what do you mean?" Because there's a risk associated with having, say, a 16-year-old on your property. Those guys, they like to party. So you got a 16-year-old running around. You think that person is 19, 20, 21 because of the maturity and the headspace that they bring to the company. Then you find out, wait a minute, you're what?
Yeah.
Again, that speaks to the quality of the individuals that the Barclay Institute, that Cedar Bridge Academy is producing.
Indeed.
Absolutely off the chain.
Love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Love to hear it. We've got to run, but I'm glad you mentioned corporate income tax, because we do, as I mentioned earlier, we're probably going to have you back over the next couple of weeks to go in on that, and the audience, Mark Arthur C. Phillips, asking it as well. But thank you for this conversation, and I just want to ask the audience out there, anyone tuned in right now, just yes or no. Do you work in the IB sector? Yes or no? I'm interested to know from our audience. I know we do have quite a few people who do. One person I know is actually an actuary, but I'd like to know how many people actually work in that space. Just say yes if you do and no if you don't. But Mr. Simmons, thank you for this conversation. Please keep us informed and let us know if there's anything that we can do to make sure that you're exceeding the numbers that you're trying to get. And we'll be in touch with you soon regarding the other conversation. Have a great day.
Enjoy day number 374.
Craig Simmons, everyone. Thank you so much. If you appreciated that conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We asked you, how many of you work in the IB space? Shawnette Bell says no. Karen Simmons says no. Renee Simmons says yes. Suzanne Ingham says no. Rosalind Famous says no. Okay, so one person so far. Keep it coming. There's a lot of you tuned in. Just a yes or no. Do you work in the IB space? Yes or no? We're going to take our final break. We'll be back in 1 minute, 45 seconds. We've got a daily play for you. It's Bermuda related today as well, but it's history. It's a remember when.
They're trying to jam me up already. I'm not even taking that on.
If you don't get this, literally,
okay,
walk away from the show with your head held very low. 1 minute, 45 seconds.
When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic, and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talks, and DeWalt. The list goes on.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Live exceptionally with HSBC MasterCard Pay with Rewards. Transform your points into what you love and get closer to winning an unforgettable trip to Dubai or one of 3 luxury experiences in Bermuda. To start following these steps, download the Pay and Rewards app from the App Store or Google Play. Register your HSBC MasterCard credit card in the app. Set your preferences to use points automatically or for your next purchase. Use your HSBC MasterCard for every purchase and redeem your points into rewards. In addition, for every $300 spent with your HSBC MasterCard, earn a chance to win an incredible monthly experience. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Bermuda Trivia, the Black History Edition, is now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com or email contact@bermudatrivia.com to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the big show. A big thank you to Bermuda College, St. John University, I believe Builter as well, and of course, Mr. Craig Simmons for making time for us this morning, having a conversation about an industry that our island, our community, our country relies so heavily on. The opportunity for more Bermudians to have access to at least understanding the industry, to me, is of most importance. So again, if you appreciated today's conversation, please make sure whatever platform you're on, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, our website, Twitter, X, whatever they call it today, give us a like, love, share it with your friends, family, your colleagues. Make sure people have access to these important community conversations. Excuse me. All right. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we have the opportunity to have these conversations with you on a regular basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, today it's a remember when. All right, here we go. Bermuda's new airport passenger terminal building opened in what year?
2020.
What was that?
2020.
He got it, folks. He got it. He got it. Ooh, he got it. Bermuda's new passenger terminal building at the airport officially opened on December 9th of 2020. 2020. So NTS, you got it. Not 2019, not 2022. Yes.
I'm 1-0 for the year.
Oh, wow. I mean, up against Teray, so she's 0 for 1. You have 1-0.
Maya was one. I caught that part.
Yep, Maya too. Yeah, but you know what's crazy? Most people wouldn't think 2020 because it was such a crazy year for travel, right? So you're thinking, why would they have opened the new airport terminal in 2020? No one was traveling, but it was at the very end of the year. But we did ask people before we went to break, did they work in the IB space? LinkedIn user said yes. James Burgess on LinkedIn says, no, I'm retired. Carla Terra says, no. So interesting, because we know that so many, when we do our surveys, so many, majority of our audience that responds does work in that space. But, hey, we appreciate that we have so many different careers and spaces that we do work in. All right. So, look, let's wrap it up, Larry. Give our final thoughts today's episode. Obviously, we started talking about the Bermuda tourism situation, the front page with the current minister giving the current board an ultimatum led by Chairman, the Honorable MP Wayne Keynes. And then we had the conversation with Craig Simmons about the partnership and the course offerings at Bermuda College around reinsurance. Final thoughts?
Yeah, with regard to the situation at the Tourism Authority, it's nice to see that some level of accountability is supposed to happen. I myself, and I think every other Bermudian, should wait and really look for the outcome. I think it's easy to start these inquiries or ask these questions, but is this something that just fizzles away without us getting the answer? And if that's the case, that's just not good enough. With the work of ABER and the course, it's 5th year going. It's just every time we hear them speak on it, it's just positive things. And I think, we're talking about our Bermudian people, many of them younger, fresh out of university or looking to get into that space, are benefiting. And at the end of the day, any situation where something new comes on and looks to better our community, we're there for it. And I think the results are starting to show.
Yeah, indeed. I echo what you said about the BTA situation. I think that this seems like accountability. Obviously, to many, it's going to seem like electioneering, the government finally, doing what's necessary. But I want to say this, and this is directly to the chairman, Wayne Keynes, the Bermuda Tourism Authority. This is not about me hating you or disliking you. This is not about any grievance. The Honorable Mark Bean resigned as leader of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. In my opinion, one of the reasons he resigned is because he knew he no longer had the support of his colleagues, but also he knew he should not lead that party from that point on. We also recently had a resignation of the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. And that resignation in particular makes me believe what Muhammad Ali didn't. Know when to walk away. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, but as many say, he stayed way past his prime. I'd encourage Mr. Keynes, out of love for country, community, and the tourism industry, to look at the track record of the Bermuda Tourism Authority since you were named as the chairman. And ask yourself, do you believe if you were the minister, you would be happy with the performance of those under your leadership? Ask yourself what you would want to do with a clear conscience and pure heart. I'd encourage Mr. Keynes and those who love him to ask him to respectfully resign and continue to give his best as an MP for his constituents and the CEO of Bermuda's only utilities company. At this time, tourism needs industry professionals with proven success and leadership capabilities to lead Bermuda forward and out of its rut. Please, ego aside, show some humility and walk away. Not because I'm telling you to, but because it's truly in the best interest of Bermuda. As it relates to Mr. Simmons today, I am so grateful for him. And I'm grateful because the TDH community loves, appreciates, and respects what he has to say. He makes you a believer in what he's telling you. Not once did he promise anybody today a job or opportunity by doing this course. But what he did communicate was the opportunity to learn and have an understanding about the industry, that whether you work in it or not, how it impacts your everyday life. If you have time or know someone who does have time and would like the opportunity to take this course, I'd encourage you to go to college.bm. Larry, do you have any daily inspiration for us?
I do. And today it comes from Dr. Seuss. Switched it up a bit.
Sorry.
Wait for it. All right. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Dr. Seuss, folks.
But I love that. I love that. I think that's an absolutely great quote for today. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we continue to do our part to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. He's Larry Marshall Jr. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out.